Listen, guys, I don't always crash out, but when I do, it's because I can't find something that I know exists that should be very easy to find online, but when I Google exactly what should bring it up as a result on Google, it does not come up. And then I'm clicking through pages and pages of results, or scrolling through rows and rows of results on Google Images or videos or whatever it may be, and I still can't find whatever meme or post or tweet or reference I am trying to find, which should be found in seconds, right? Now, there have been numerous people who have realized this since, but I genuinely feel like I was the first person to start to notice this because of how often I Google stuff. How often I'm like, oh, you don't believe me? Let me find this clip that backs up my point. I know exactly what combo of words to search to bring that up. And for a long time, that always worked. When I first started doing content creation, the first few years, Google was a very reliable source of information. It still is, but it's become less reliable. And what I mean by that is that it is a lot harder to know when you open up a Google search box that you will be able to find what you are looking for. It used to be that if you knew what you were looking for existed online, you knew you would find it if you spent enough time searching on Google. And it usually didn't take long. But you knew you would find it. Nowadays, it feels like if there's a meme or like a clip of a content creator that went super viral a year ago, it's impossible to find now. If you have any tech support problem, you better add Reddit to the end of your search or you will get nothing but slop results. It has become an unusable nightmare to what it was. And so according to some sources, whistleblowers from Google, etc., Google actively chose to make their search engine worse because, for those that don't know, a lot of Google search results when you look something up are ads. The shopping replies, like the Google shopping replies or results, those are ads. The sponsored or ad labeled results are also ads. And every time you see those ads, Google makes a little money. Now, from Google's perspective, wanting to make as much ad money off of every user as possible, why should they keep on making its search engine so good that you only spend a few seconds looking at those ads and scrolling through them before you find what you're looking for and go on with your day? From Google's perspective, their product getting better makes them less money. We are the product. And if we're not being the product for as long and as monetarily beneficial manner to them as we could be, why wouldn't they take the opportunity to monetize us even harder? And so the claim from the whistleblowers is that Google has actively nerfed their search algorithms in order to guarantee that users will spend way longer looking at all the sponsored ad results and shopping recommendations when they're searching for things, because they have to keep clicking after page, rewording their search, clicking through tabs to see if maybe Google Video or Images brings up what they're looking for. And you're constantly seeing ads the longer you spend doing this, constantly trickling in more income, even just as one person for Google. So, if you guys have noticed this as well, then this should be just as cathartic for you as it has been for me. More creators with large platforms are calling this out, drawing attention to the fact that Google is noticeably less usable now than it was. And I feel like I've gone from being seen as like a crazy crash out when I complain about this to one of the majority now in being upset about this. And it feels so cathartic because this video in a day has racked up nearly 1 million fucking views. Way more views than this channel has subscribers, mind you. So this went viral of its own accord because so many people have recently gotten fed up with how much worse Google has gotten, and they want to see it get called out. Now, there have been videos like this in the past that we've reacted to on stream, where we've found out Google is in fact getting worse, people are recognizing it and realizing it, but this is the biggest video I have seen by a long shot calling this out and complaining about it. And that is a big deal. People are starting to really lose their patience with this.
Google.com is a pure search engine. No weather, no newsfeed, no links to sponsors, no ads, no distractions, no portal litter. Nothing but a fast-loading search site.
At Google, our mission is to make the world's information accessible and useful. And that means all of the world's information, which now in our index numbers over 1 billion documents.
Artificial intelligence would be the ultimate version of Google. So if we had the ultimate search engine, it would understand everything on the web. We're nowhere near doing that now. However, we can get incrementally closer to that.
I don't know about you guys, but using the internet nowadays feels somewhat worse than what it used to be. It feels a lot less straightforward. I'm pretty sure that how it used to go is that you'd look something up online and then you get a bunch of links to do with that thing. But now, if I want to find something, the most effective way of doing that, according to a bunch of tech...
It wasn't even that. Let's not even downplay how good Google was and how much worse it is now. You used to be able to typo your way through typing nothing but keywords about what you were looking for, and you would still get the result you were looking for, because the most high retention and highly rated, high traffic result, because they have the algorithm and the technology to know what the best result is for a given search. They can see like when searching for what clicked and stayed on what page for longest, right? Meaning it was likely a legit page. They knew what to tell you to click, and they told you what to click very reliably. Like, if let's say you're looking for like a song, you could mistype half the song's lyrics and probably still find it if it was a song anyone's ever heard of before on Google, like when I was a teenager. It was that easy. Like, I did not know any band names when I was a teenager. I did not know song names when I was a teenager, and yet I was still easily able to find music that I would hear like in passing or on the radio, because Google was like, you could just think you know the lyrics and still find what you were looking for, because Google can be good. It was good. You did not have to search exactly what you were looking for to get what you needed. You can't even do that now, search exactly what you're looking for and get what you're looking for. But back then, you really didn't have to be specific. You could really half-ass your search query because you knew that Google knew what you meant. And it did know. And it still does. They are actively choosing to make it worse, though. And this isn't according to me. This is according to, like, legitimate whistleblowers at Google. They claimed that, Google's equivalent to a code red is a code yellow. Apparently, Google called a code yellow emergency meeting one day to talk about a 20% drop in retention in their search algorithm, meaning a 20% drop in their ad revenue through their search algorithm, which they immediately were ordered by the higher-ups and executives at Google to fix, which was with what they called engagement hacking. This is what they call it at Google, engagement hacking, where they basically force you to engage with more ads and more sponsored results before you find your search query arbitrarily, simply to make more money. They call it engagement hacking. That is the term they use at Google offices for what they are doing right now, where they're making Google worse.
Companies is like talking to a robot for a while, having a little conversation with it. Hey, how are you doing? Can you please let me know this thing that I'm looking up, please? Please, robot? Now, obviously, at the moment, I still use Google. I'm technically using it right now by posting this video. But a lot of people, myself included, have been feeling like something is off. And I want to explore that. I want to see if this feeling is based in reality or not. Now, a big thing that inspired this video is this Reddit post right here. Can we pull this up on the screen? Can we have it on the screen right now? Do we have this technology? So this is by Night Train, posted on r/mildly infuriating. Just watch John Wick 4. Did a quick search to see if they are making a fifth one. This is the abysmal state of Google and the internet as we go into 2025.
Bro.
Let's see this picture that he has posted here. So at the top, we can click to see the
No, bro. What? For those, this isn't a movie that's been... I would know if they'd announced John Wick 5, okay? So John Wick 5, a bunch of fake AI generated, or... Who remembers when this shit would, like, sometimes come up if you scrolled far enough on YouTube? Like, if you searched for any news about a game franchise or a movie franchise you like, and nothing new would come out about it, and you were just checking in to see if anything had and you missed it, you would have to scroll through all the legitimate advertisements for the last installment of that media, and then you would get to, like, fan-made trailers for the future installment that hasn't even been announced yet. but you would have to scroll to like page 2 of results to find that shit. Now, if you search John Wick 5, Google provides you a fake movies info just to get your attention. Because keep in mind, a lot of what's on this page right now are ads or sponsored, right? Like IMDb almost certainly pays Google for high algorithmic priority, right? When you like search things, you'll see results. Like if you scroll for a second, you'll probably see the results that outright say sponsored advertisements. Zan, I wish leftist spaces were more tech literate. I hold the stance that Trump won because people aren't tech literate, which I consider the basis of all other resulting issues. You also need to keep in mind, by the way, roughly more than half of America cannot read at or above a 6th grade reading level. Most things in daily life in America are deliberately written at like a 3rd or 4th grade reading level because that is what the most Americans can actually do and can actually handle. Americans are very unintelligent. There are stats that track this, like for our level of wealth and prosperity as a country, we are a very unintelligent country. And judging by the Republicans' decades-long political career of fighting against the American education system, there's obvious reasons why. I don't think it's tech illiteracy. I think it's downright illiteracy. Like, just, like, they don't... These are really dumb people, those that voted for Trump.
Into 2025. Let's see this picture that he has posted here. So at the top, we can click to see the cast and reviews. Reviews for a movie that is not out as of yet. The main pictures that you see under John Wick Chapter 5 are either AI fake trailers or fully speculated clickbait articles. At the top right, it says the name of the director. The person here saying that's not true, because again, nothing is confirmed about this movie. The second one under top stories is an AI fake article. Then we get a completely useless page with no information whatsoever. That's the IMDb, again, for a movie that is, there's no news about it. And then at the very bottom, after you've sifted through this pile.
Okay, I didn't see that when I googled John Wick 5, but they probably removed it. You want to know what's so weird about the enshittification of Google? It's so case by case. I'm pretty certain if you and I search the exact same thing into Google right now, there's a decent chance we get different results. And I think it's literally because YouTube and Google are shuffling the results in such a way that mandates you spend longer scrolling through sponsored results and ads to find what you're looking for.
Of garbage, of spam, pretty much. You get the closest thing to actual information, and that is a piece of information in the middle of a long article stating that the movie has been greenlit, but no one's working on it. Good stuff. Now I see this image as a beautiful art piece, a true testament to the sort of what the kind of situation that's happening right now with search engines. I'm going to use this as a reference point. We're going to go back to different bits that are in this image as we go along to sort of to see why. How did it come to this? How did they this up this much? You know, now they own all these websites and they have a phone and all that. Maybe did they just forget that the Google search engine is a thing? Now, this post seemed to really resonate with people, gaining over 97,000 upvotes. There's a comment here with 19,000 upvotes saying, search anything remotely popular and you're immediately thrown into this hellscape. I miss the days when a lack of information meant a lack of search results. That's right. I mean, a search engine that works well doesn't just flood like a bunch of spam to the top of your feed. Like, I don't know. I guess I've gotten used to this. I forgot that that's how this is supposed to work. But yes, I'd absolutely rather get no search results rather than a bunch of fake articles and fake trailers. This is what's known as internet pollution. It's pretty...
I like that term, internet pollution, but I feel like we let the pollution spread, and it's in so many ways we never recognized or made the connection to at the time. Like, I would be willing to bet that that people like the Paul brothers existing online, being normalized and going from being the most unanimously hated figures to like broadly respected for their hustle, like the internet culturally switching up on like the douche tubers, the like becoming more accepting of just the most trash low bar people. I feel like as people's standards have dropped and the bar has dropped, it's opened up the floodgates for these corporate entities to start lowering the bar for themselves. When the user base doesn't hold anyone to any high standard, why should we expect these companies to hold themselves to a high standard when they know that we will make excuses for or just continue using these platforms no matter how bad they get? Elon Musk buying Twitter and Twitter still being a viable platform to this day after how much he's ruined it has been a message to all of big tech that once you've got that monopoly, you can wring every last penny out of your user base and you'll still keep a critical amount of users that are willing to pay that can keep things running. And it might even be more profitable than keeping things like free and high quality. And a lot of these big tech companies are realizing this now, that a free high quality app with millions and millions and millions of users is less valuable to them than a low quality pay to use app with only a couple 100,000 users. The worse their platform gets and the more it costs, the better it is for a lot of these big tech companies. Ad space is becoming less valuable. People are becoming a less valuable product. And we're starting to get to the point now where a lot of these social media sites want to become Netflix. They want subscriptions that you pay. They want you to have a premium version of themselves that you pay on a monthly basis. They all want to become Netflix.
Pretty rampant. Time is ripe for a new search engine, similar to how Google cleaned up the AOL garbage in the 90s. That's right, if you remember the ads that I read like a minute ago, hopefully you remember it, that would be good. This is what they were referring to. AOL used to use a lot of third-party search engines, and they were pretty crap. They'd fill your screen up with a bunch of ads that you don't want to see, and because their engine was less algorithmically sophisticated than Google's, you'd often have to like sift through just a bunch of nonsense before actually finding this thing that you're looking for. Does that remind you of something? Ads, for example, have been an issue on Google for a while, creating a whole lot of spam. Let's say you want to buy some YouTuber memorabilia, you want to buy some Drew Gooden artifacts to place around your house, and then you look for that, and all the top stuff is sponsored posts, which are just a bunch of Redbubble things that say road work ahead on them. Search engine optimization tricks are far from a new thing, and main reason sites like AliExpress, Temu have like titles that are insanely long for their products are this. Why just buy a bathroom organizer when you could buy a bathroom organizer in storage, makeup organizer, makeup, but it ran out of space. Google search really has gotten worse. Researchers find. That's right. The world of science agrees with me. This article is by 404 Media referencing a...
Have you ever like bought something on Amazon and it's a good product and a friend asks you like, oh shit, that looks cool. Where can I buy it? What's it called? And you go to read its name on Amazon. You're like, it's the Gigadump 487 tall light blue LCD screen like you're just listing this like paragraph long name for the product on Amazon or whatever retailer you bought it from online, because every listing for every product now is so incomprehensibly stuffed with buzzwords and keywords in order to game the algorithms and come up when you search for that product. It's like, it's so embarrassing because it's like, man, what do I even call this thing? Like I bought that little device and it's like, I just call it a Mio or a Miu. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. I should just call it Miu because then it's like Mew. But like its actual name on Amazon is insane. You know what? Let me read it to you guys just so I can tell you guys what I'm talking about here. Like every listing for any product that you would buy online reads like what I'm about to read you right now. Orders and returns. Here's what it's called, guys. The Miu Mini Plus Retro Handheld Game Console Gray Color includes 64 gigabytes card, 3.5-inch IPS game console, Linux system, classic gaming player, PS1. Like, they have all that info and the product details where all that info belongs. It should just be Mio Mini Plus Retro Handheld Game Console. Gray. That should be the name of it, frankly. If anything, it should just be Mio Mini Plus Retro Handheld Game Console. That should be its name. But instead, it's another paragraph of different keywords in order to have it come up when you search for something like this. Everything like this. Everything is sold like this now. What else do we have? Well, let's go through the other things being sold. Here's a micro SD card. The SanDisk 128 gigabyte Ultra Micro SDXC UHS-I memory card with adapter up to 140 megabits per second, C10 U1 Full HD A1 micro SD card, SD SQA-128G-GN6MA, bracket, new version, closed bracket. Like, dude, everything you want to buy online right now is so blatantly trying to game the algorithms, and we're all just okay with it. We're all just pretending it's not happening. But when you start to become cognizant of it and you look for it, it's like, oh my God, everything is getting worse, and all these big tech platforms want it to happen.
Study from Leipzig University. Search engines seem to lose the cat and mouse game that is SEO spam, they write. Notably, Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo all have the same problem. That's right, you can't even trust Bing anymore. So this research specifically focused on search results that came from terms that have something to do with like product reviews. Like, hey, what's up with the new iPhone? Is it good? Is it the same iPhone again? They tested over 7,000 of these terms, and they found out that overall, on average, the higher ranked pages that you get for those search terms are not necessarily the ones that fit what you're looking for the best, but rather the ones that used more SEO tricks, meaning that the system is not that hard to game. And very often, those results that were at the top were also of lower text quality, which is pretty crazy. But also, do you ever wake up in a cold sweat at 3 a.m. thinking to yourself, hey, I should make a website about dogs on skateboards? No? Okay, well, chances are you probably could use a website for something else, you know? Whether it's for your business, showcasing your portfolio, or talking about what's up with dogs on skateboards. That's right. 5, hello.
I like these got a sponsorship, but also we gotta react. We gotta react and respond.
Video. So okay, let's go back to our John Wick page. John Wick 5. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mr. John Wick 5 Google page. I'm glad to see you again. So you've probably experienced something like this. You're looking up for some sort of piece of information. You're on the hunt. Is this new season of this thing that I like happening soon? Are they working on it? Or is it like all the shows nowadays where they take 5 years to make and I'm gonna die of old age by the time this series finishes up? Or all the Stranger Things kids gonna be 50 years old by the time I get the next season? You're typing all of this out like an insane person. You click on the search button, get all the results, and then, gullibly, naively so, you click on the first thing that you see on your search results page because your mom taught you to trust people. But this was a mistake. You've been tricked. You end up reading an article that is quoting another article that is quoting a third article that's quoting a passing comment a celebrity once made in their dream. So this is an article from Wired. While searching for the latest information on Adobe's artificial intelligence policies, I typed Adobe train AI content into Google and switched over to the news tab. I'd already seen Wired's coverage. That makes sense. This person works there. That appeared on the results page. In the second position, clicking on the top hyperlink, I found myself on a spammy website brimming with plagiarized articles that were repackaged, many of them using AI-generated illustrations at the top. In this spam article, the entire Wired piece was copied with only slight changes to the phrasing. Even the original quotes were lifted. A single, lonely hyperlink at the bottom of the webpage leading back to our version of the story served as the only form of attribution. Now,
I hate that the right has spent the last 12 or so years at this point making the idea of calling out unethical practices in journalism this, like, scary conservative thing. Because, like, conservatives hate journalism. They do not want there to be a media to hold their God Emperor accountable to the people. They want the people uninformed, and they only want state-sponsored media. That's why they want, like, CNN and MSNBC shut down. They're, like, calling for Elon and Trump to literally illegally shut down these news networks they don't agree with. They only want state-sponsored media. And so, because of this, they've for a very long time attacked journalists. They've attacked the, like, truthfulness of journalists, and this has meant that reflexively a lot of progressives can be a little bit, like, quick to say, no, all, like, journalists are not lying. They do not lie. The news is not fake, right? But there are some serious ethical issues in the world of internet journalism, notably. Like, I'm talking big journalistic outlets and their, like, internet op-ed or internet, like, article writing positions. Where right now, there are some big reputable outlets that are regularly churning out garbage articles in their websites. They aren't op-eds oftentimes. They aren't contributor articles. They are full-on reports from large reputable institutions, and the articles are written by AI. or they cite, like this example does, like it references some slop article that was itself AI generated. So much of it is like AI or people cannibalizing AI slop. If it's not AI slop already, it's impossible to sift through all the garbage now.
The article continues to bring up further and further and further examples of this person trying to find some sort of piece of information, and then the top result is constantly some sort of shady website sort of thing. A copy of a plagiarized version of the original. As a casual reader, unless you're quite versed in, I don't know, the names of different news outlets and all that, you're probably gonna click on the first one. In the current state of things, unless they start cleaning up these search results more effectively, you were pretty much incentivized to click on spam. In a similar article by 404 Media, they reached out to Google for a comment on this issue, and in response they stated that the company ultimately does not focus on whether a news article was written by a human or AI. Publishers will now have less of an incentive to actually produce high-quality content, and in turn, users will have less of a reason to trust the websites appearing at the top of Google News. So Google said about this that their focus when ranking content is on the quality of the content rather than how it was produced. Automatically generated content produced primarily for ranking purposes is considered spam, and we take action as appropriate under our policies. But like, not really. I kind of can see what's going on here. Tech companies don't want to seem anti-AI, especially one of the biggest tech companies in the world. But when you keep the rules this vague, you know, automatically generated content produced primarily for ranking purposes is considered spam. It's like, wow, where do you draw the line, you know? Automatically generated texts are pulled from certain things, you know? So at which point are you going to consider it spam? At which point are you going to say that this is copying something? So as...
Don't we have, like, actual data now that has fully proven that internet theory is now true? More than half of the content online now was not made by a human. Am I wrong about this? Because I swear I saw, like, actual, like, a scientific, like, study. Like, a full-on, like, real-ass study that basically just pulled as much of the internet as possible and found that more than half of internet, like, activity, things posted online, right now, more than half of it was not made by humans. In certain metrics, it's true. I think it's like a broad, like the whole internet, pretty much. I wonder if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that really fast. And of course, we're going to find out if Google is a good source to find this on right now. We're going to use it as a bit of a test. Percentage of the internet that is bots. According to the Thales Group, assuming this is like legit, I don't know if the Thales Group is legit. It seems like they could be. But their claim is nearly half, 49.6% of all internet traffic came from bots in 2023, a 2% increase over the previous year, and the highest level Imperva has reported since it began monitoring automated traffic in 2013. And that is in 2023. It was 49.6%. So we're well into more than half of the internet traffic being bots. Because that was 3 years ago, or 2 years ago at this point, when AI was so much worse and less prevalent than it is now.
As moderation of this whole thing seemed not great, they came up with something, a solution to this issue that didn't exist on the same level like 7 years ago. The AI overview. The AI overview is pretty much, I think, on its way of replacing the pretty similar non-AI overview that's been around for, you know, some time now. You know the feature I'm talking about, where you look up, like, I don't know, what caused the French Revolution, and then it just quotes a little bit of Wikipedia, and it's like, that's the thing. I'll give the AI version of this feature some credit. It kind of summarizes the bit in the article to fully match what you looked for, rather than, you know, just to quote a bit from the original source material, which, you know, ends up making you rely on Google more than ever as your ultimate source of information. It's not just a thing that leads you to other websites, it is now the sort of final thing. And a push to, I guess, further monopolize information. You know, especially if you look up something and all the articles that pop up are a bunch of crap, yeah, the AI thing seems more coherent. Well, sort of. At the launch of this thing, this feature was very funny. Here are a few examples. What to do if you are attacked at a supercharger. If you are attacked at a Tesla supercharger, you can ask if you can leave, and if they say yes, thank them and leave, or let them know you'll be leaving in a certain amount of time. This is all good advice. Everything that I'm going to be reading
Good
out
shit.
that the AI overview said,
Thanks,
I want you
AI.
guys to start doing in real life, okay? This is official. This is approved by Google. Don't worry about it. Someone asked about smoking while pregnant. Doctors recommend... Jesus. Doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day
Based AI.
during pregnancy, which is way too many. You should smoke less cigarettes than that. Geez, not sticking to...
No, like honestly, I'm glad the AI isn't woke, you know? I'm glad the AI isn't woke and telling people not to smoke while pregnant. Hell yeah, brother.
Pizza. Cheese can slide off pizza for a number of reasons, including too much sauce, too much cheese, or thickened sauce. Here are some things you can try. And it lists things, and at some point it says you can also add about 1/8 of you could also add about 1/8 of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tackiness. And here's sort of the source of the problem here.
I
Like
think
turning
that's
Google
real,
itself.
though. I think that is done in restaurants, though. I think that's actually real, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that done? Non-toxic glue in cooking? I swear that's like a thing that's done. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, guess not. Unless Google is Garbo now. Meat glue, I think. Yeah, maybe I'm mixing it up with like meat glue. Yeah.
Into your final, destination for information, they kind of try and make you, I don't know, notice less where the information was pulled from. So as you bite into your succulent, delicious slice of glue-drizzled pizza, you might miss a pretty crucial piece of information here.
Where's
That
my
this
glue?
advice was given to you by none other than Smith on Reddit. Okay, so Google search engine for links is
pulling
maybe
from
not at
Reddit
its prime
posts.
anymore. It's having a bit of a rough patch. But what about Google Images? Fun fact about Google Images, it was...
Hey guys, you don't want to scroll through the Reddit posts relevant to your search to find out what posts got the most upvotes and were deemed the helpful post. You want some random reply to a related Reddit post that did not come up in your search results, by the way. You have to add Reddit to your search results to find Reddit, but one of the AI search results will be some random person's comment on Reddit. That is peak 2024 and 5 Google right there. They damn well know what you're looking for, and a lot of the time it's going to be like a Reddit post or something, or a Reddit thread about the topic you're searching for, if it's like anything to do with like tech or whatever. And they know that's what you're looking for, so they will pull info for the AI overview from it, but still refuse to give it to you as a result because they want you searching for it longer.
Launched back in July 2001 to answer the most popular search query at the time, which was green Versace dress of Jennifer Lopez. And here it is. Actually, no, I'm not showing it on the screen. Can we make it into the most popular search result again? Award-winning superstar Evil Pinely has already made a video about this. Here it is on the screen. This guy, he's such a legend. He is the best guy ever. He's amazing. He is so sexy and beautiful. And he's a genius, ultimately. I can never compare. So I'm just gonna steal what he says pretty much. I was first exposed to this issue when I looked up something along the lines of like pink video game background. I think it was like because one of my brothers wanted to use it as like a screensaver or something like that. I don't remember. It doesn't matter because all I got when I looked this thing up was just a bunch of AI f***ing garbage. And this is very common, especially when it comes to like 3D images or,
Dude, I used to make thumbnails, like my own thumbnails, for years. And it used to be so easy to find even the most like vague searched but still very hyper specific results for like, I need an image of a street with a dumpster on fire and it needs to be foggy or smoky in the air for the background of this thumbnail. And I'll search foggy, smoky street of city. And I'll go to Google Images, and like the third or fourth result is basically exactly what I had in mind and what I'm looking for. That was what it was like making thumbnails on Google back in the day. I feel like it's got to be 100 times harder now than then. especially with all the AI generated shit flooding the search results. And like you pull public images off of Google Images when you're making thumbnails like 90% of the time. I know that at one point, my editor Ethan accidentally used an AI generated image off of Google Images when making a thumbnail, and obviously people were flaming him in the comments, and he was like, "Ah, shit, I didn't even realize it." And I'm like wondering how much of a problem it's going to continue to be as AI image generation starts to get better at a glance, where you kind of really have to look at it to be like, oh, that's AI, because that's starting to get to be an issue. Like, you got to really sift through it and know what to look for, or you'll pass over it, you know? Like, it's easy to not notice. So it's like they're making Google worse for everyone and everything if you have any reliance on search algorithms working.
Cartoons or whatever, you're gonna look this stuff up, and quite a lot of it is gonna be AI generated search results.
Yep.
I think that's dumb. I think that's really dumb. Why on earth would you want to get AI generated pictures as your search results? I don't, advocate for what I'm about to say, but surely, the thing about AI is, your ability to like type things out and customize it to whatever you want. Why the hell would you want to get to see AI generated pictures that someone else made of like a lion or whatever? There's no point here. It is fully and ultimately spam, in my opinion, I guess. Yep. It's not just for 3D images or cartoons. In this Reddit post, user Dom, a bunch of numbers, wanted to look up a picture of a baby peacock. And I can't blame Dom a bunch of numbers. These pictures or videos of cute animals can feed the soul in a way. They represent something true and pure, at being completely unaffected by this information overload that we experience in an average human being's life, untainted by all this garbage. But guess what? In the screenshot that we're presented with here, out of the 17 search results standing in front of us, only 4 of them are real pictures of a cute little baby peacock and not AI generated. The rest are AI.
Let me try this really fast. On the bright side, if you Google baby quail, it seems like all the results are real. What if I Google baby peacock? There is 2 AI generated responses, or 3. There's 3. Look at this is what I was talking about before, okay? So look at this. This is a complete, I literally searched baby peacock. Okay? Like these are the results. Most of them are real. But then if we go to this video and we look, the results are different. I typed the exact same thing, but these are different results. Google literally shuffles your results, even for the same search, depending on who you are, on the day, and like it is literally maliciously feeding you garbage or choosing not to. Like I don't even know if it's smart enough to know whether or not you're getting suspicious and you're searching and trying to test it so it stops, or if it's like it does it whenever you're not suspecting it and it has some way of knowing. But like, dude, you guys see this, right? Like I'm not making this up. Google is like shuffling your results even if you search the same thing, because the whole point is just to hide your actual search query. They know what you're looking for and they're hiding it.
AI. The rest are just AI peacocks. Frauds. Bunch of frauds. Trying to be what they can never be. La 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 la. I want to see the true essence of living. Oh la 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 la. Let me look up baby peacock. No, you only get 4 pictures. What? Yeah, you only get 4. 4. Why? You. And guess what? As time goes, we're gonna show you less and less of that. You're not even gonna remember how a real cute little baby peacock picture looks like. You're just gonna see a shadow of it. You're just gonna see a copy of a copy, a shadow of a shadow, something on the edge of this real thing that you're looking for, but it's never gonna be it. It's never gonna satisfy this hole in your heart. A big reason as to why this is happening is because stock websites, for example Adobe stock, have been flooded by AI generated pictures because it's really, really easy to make them. And people are like, hey, can I make money off of this? Maybe I can make money off of this. Who knows? That said, at the very least, Adobe Stock allows you to like see if the search result is AI generated or not, which as of right now, Google Images is not, which I think is ridiculous. I think, especially if you're trying to look up like real stuff, you need to know that it's real. I don't like being in this state where I can't trust a cute little baby peacock. Anyways, and I didn't know this when I made the evil.
I want to add another example that's even like that's directly outright dangerous to people. So platforms like Amazon and whatnot allow for random people to sell their own products because it's a storefront. And something that a lot of people have been doing is selling AI-generated books with AI-generated covers, and they're sold and made to look like a real thing that people will gullibly buy and then probably figure out is garbage once they start reading it, or maybe they won't. But there is one particular type of book that is AI-generated that has been selling like hotcakes on Amazon and other platforms that is terrifying. AI-generated foraging guides. There have been numerous hospitalizations and deaths already due to the fact that these fake AI-generated foraging guides, when you go to the mushrooms section, provide no real reliable information whatsoever on how to identify mushrooms, how to identify what is poisonous and what isn't, and will literally outright tell you to eat stuff that might be outright deadly. These are not real foraging guides. They are made with AI, and they are only meant to pass off as a real one at a glance on a storefront for you to pay for it through Amazon and buy it, and for them to get their quick payout. And so multiple hospitalizations and deaths have already happened because of this. Google does not care. Amazon does not care. They continue to allow this because it's making them money. If you don't believe me, by the way, let me see if I can find this story. AI-generated foraging guide mushrooms. Life or death. AI-generated mushroom foraging books are all over Amazon. A genre of AI-generated books on Amazon is scaring foragers and mycologists, cookbooks and identification guides for mushrooms aimed at beginners. Amazon has an AI-generated books problem that has been documented by journalists for months. Many of these books are obviously gibberish designed to make money, but experts say that AI-generated foraging books specifically could actually kill people if they ate the wrong mushroom because a guidebook written by an AI prompt said it was safe. The New York Mycologist Society warned on social media that the proliferation of AI-generated foraging books could mean life or death. There are hundreds of poisonous fungi in North America and several that are deadly, Sigrid Jacob, president of the New York Mycological Society, told me in an email, quote, "They can look similar to popular edible species. A poor description in a book can mislead someone into eating a poisonous mushroom." A quick scan of Amazon's mushroom and foraging books revealed a bunch of books likely written by ChatGPT, but are sold without any indication that they're AI generated, and are marketed as having been written by a human when they're very likely not. This shit is not just a first world problem. Many people rely on the internet as their go-to source of quick, on-the-spot information, even in life-threatening, needing to save a life type situations. I don't know how to give CPR. Let me Google it. I'm the only one around that could possibly like give it, right? Like if you're in that situation, let's hope Google does not give you some horrifically misinformed AI search result. This is a real dangerous problem. People will die because Google is getting worse. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but I'm being serious. And I bring this up because many are going to try to claim, what are you complaining about? This is such a first world problem. Oh my God. No. Do not try to downplay how serious this is. It is way more of a problem than I think many would give credit for. Anyway. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, and you liked my reaction to it, then please consider going and leaving a like and a comment on the original video and subscribing to the original video's creator, linked down below in the description. I'm sure they would appreciate it, and as would I. And of course, if you appreciated my content, be sure to leave a like and a comment on my newest videos and streams, as it's the best way to support my channel and helps to get my stuff seen by a lot more people. In fact, it's the only way for us to counter the right-wing domination of the media landscape that we have all been enduring over the last year or so. Or last few years, honestly, at this point. And of course, if you want to see more from me, you can always subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload new videos. And you can also follow my social medias linked down below in the description, including my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, fan Discord, which is the main hub of my community, and my Blue Sky. And finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, you want to help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support the channel, though, thank you so much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you again soon.